Welcome. This is Jane Gardner, and welcome to Solopreneur Success Strategies. And today, it's World Domination Wednesday because it's all about your customers. So let's move me over. Hey! It's all about your customers. So let's get started. Welcome. This is Jane Gardner and Solopreneur Success Strategies. We're working on looking at your customer and after they purchase. We've looked quite a bit about your customer. We've looked at how to get a customer, who is your customer before that, how to keep the customer is what we're talking about now, and especially after the purchase. It's called customer onboarding. Don't ask me why, but that's what they call it. So it's called onboarding because you want to keep them on board with you and make them a loyal customer who comes back from you and buys again and again. So let's go and have a look at who's your customer. And everyone is not your customer, according to Seth Godin, and I would agree. We've looked at who are your customers. And we looked at your customers are those who want your solution to their problems and they want your solution to fulfill their desire. There's over 3.5 billion internet users online every day, so I'm sure you can find some of them by getting the correct messaging out there to attract them. Who is your customer? You have to know who are your ideal customers, and we went over how to define them and how to find out what they like. Whether or not they want what you want to give them. You know where to find your ideal customers, and we've looked at when and how they like to buy and some of the research and places you can go and do the research to find out who is your customer. And we looked at what is the ideal customer experience in terms of your business overall and how some of those features on how to make an ideal customer experience in your business. And then if you missed any episodes, you can catch up on them at jgtips.com/YouTube for Solopreneur Success Strategies. Any Wednesday episode is all about your customer. We also looked at converting your prospects into customers. We looked at the personality development factors model that I believe in, and how every person has 4 traits in them that in a variety of levels they have, and that if you know who the person is by being able to understand who they are from the personal styles model, you can actually sell better to them and be more successful in your selling. So if you can understand that there are 4 different buying styles, of which each one of us has one more dominant in our personality than the other, then being able to detect a person's buying style, you can be more successful as a salesperson with training, of course. And I have an offer at You and Your Sales Style at jgtips.com/p-style, where we look at customer-focused selling and how to establish readiness and willingness levels of a customer, and understanding how credibility works when it comes to your customer, and identifying your preferred selling style, as well as determining how you can determine your customer's buying style in order to be able to adapt yourself to their buying style. And we looked at what does good customer service really mean, and the mindset of a customer service rock star, as well as how to streamline your customer service with a frequently asked questions area in your business. And then now we're looking at the importance of the customer onboarding in your sales cycle. So we all know about unsatisfied clients. We know about poor reviews. We know about lack of referrals and low sales and confused and frustrated staff and confused and frustrated customers, and the lack of feedback from your customers on why they aren't buying, etc. We know a little about the bad stuff, but how do you create a good customer service onboarding after the sale? So we're looking at what is onboarding, which is basically after the purchase. You need to be able to understand that there are certain things you have to do with your customer still after the purchase. You have to teach the customer how to use the product to its fullest. You have to be able to create a strong relationship with your customer, gather information about your customer so that you can help to make that relationship stronger, and maybe find other products they would be interested in by knowing who they are. And you drive home the value of your product by doing a lot of maybe some newsletters or emails to them. And you set clear expectations as to who you are and who the customer is and how you want to develop a strong relationship with them. So we looked at the big picture, and details of the experience of the purchase. And then there's there's the onboarding process that you create in your business, and so that you can get repeat sales. And then there's the content plan that you do the first 30 days to continue to create a good relationship with your customer. And then beyond the first week and the first month, you use feedback and customer service and content to give your customer the feeling that they are a VIP in order to have a good relationship with them. So we looked at the big picture and what will they do with your product and service. Hopefully you'll know after they've done. And then we are going to have a look at the customer relationship management. So after the post-purchase experience, you want to make sure that you have all the details covered. You have to be able to flesh out the details of your customer's post-purchase experience by considering how you're going to deliver that purchase, how is it going to be installed, how is it going to be used by the customer, so that you can then figure out ways to help them use it. You want to know what the features are that they like best about the purchase, and if they'll be using it for another use, maybe you can adapt it to other things that you can sell. You want to make sure that you have all your maintenance ideas in place so that if they need maintenance, you have a routine for that, as well as finding out if there's any problems when the customer purchases and then after the post-purchase experience. And you should be able to know what the benefits are for the customer after they purchase the purchase. And then so you should consider the following for each idea for specific tasks. How are you going to, how is the customer going to purchase your product or service? What platform are you using? Is it going to be direct mail? Is it going to be direct sales? Is it going to be on the internet? Is it going to be through a sales page? Is it going to be delivery on the internet? And what content do you need to create in order to create an easy experience for them in terms of getting the purchase? And what's the timeline in order to get that all done, so that you have a good post-purchase experience for the customer? So for example, if you have a manual or tutorials that we mentioned last time that you need to create, or how-tos, when are you going to get those done so that they're available fairly quickly for the customer when the purchase becomes available for the product or service? So amazing, I know, but there are a lot of things to consider in the onboarding process and your post-purchase for your customer. So you've got to plan your onboarding process for your purchase, and remember that you need to be able to develop your relationship with your customer as quickly as possible. So wow, have a look at that. That's a lot of work, but that is an important thing in order to get yourself into a relationship with a raving fans. So your customers will be your raving fans and come back and buy from you again and again. It's important to be able to have a process after the purchase where you develop a relationship with your customer and they're happy with their purchase. So next week we'll go further into the post-purchase process of the onboarding process. So this is Jane Gardner, and if you want to see any of the previous episodes about the customer, some of them are quite important, important, including how to make a prospect into a customer, knowing their personal style, go back to my YouTube channel at jgtips.com/YouTube. This is Jane Gardner. See you next week.